The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Yeah.
I'm more surprised as we distance from the draft that in this win and now league, the Packers and Eagles, both with, you could argue, sketchy offensive arsenals around their very good quarterbacks, instead used high draft picks on quarterbacks. Each day that passes from the draft, it gets to be more and more curious. It sure seems like the Eagles have a better chance of winning a Super Bowl here in their window with supporting help for Carson Wentz rather than a backup plan in case he gets hurt.
Well, I'm sure the Eagles, more than anyone, have ingrained in their head. I mean, they won a Super Bowl because they had a really good backup. And so maybe that's their thought process. And let's get somebody who has some of the skill set similar to Carson Wentz. I don't know. I can't. I don't think I would have done it either. I don't think if I were the Packers, I know I wouldn't have done it. The reason why I wouldn't have done it if I were the Packers is because I know how my quarterback is, my guy. And so, you know what? We're talking about 3 or 4 more years. So why would I get rid of him or put him in a mood now and just start the end process coming? And I don't buy this whole it's a message like we know who's in charge now, the new young head coach and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't know, man.
I don't think the coach wants a quarterback. That's got to be a management decision.
Yeah.
If you're a coach, you want to win. You want another weapon for Aaron Rodgers. If you're Matt LaFleur, you know Jordan Love's not helping you one bit.
Yeah.
So I bet you Matt LaFleur is not.
I mean, Favre went 06, 07, 08, 09. Well, he went
3 years.
Yeah, 06, 07. 2 years after he got drafted in 5, so they played 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah,
right?
3 years.
Yeah,
3 years he sat while Favre played.
And Favre went through a 4-12, and he played the whole year.
I think Aaron Rodgers will play the next 2 years in Green Bay.
Favre's last game in Green Bay was in the playoffs in the cold game that they lost to the Giants.
Oof,
right? Yeah, he threw the pick to Corey Webster. And
yeah, remember that. Yeah.
Yes.
And then they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
So
here's what'll happen if you want me to guess what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, who if he was cut now would bring $51 million in dead cap money. If he's cut next year, it would bring $30 million in dead cap money. But then the following year, it's only like $15 million. So that'll be the kicker stick. If Jordan Love is ready, then the Packers. And look, I get that guys are playing longer now, and I get that you have a real attachment to your quarterback. I don't know how smart it is committing to 38, 39-year-old quarterbacks. I know we're on a little run here where they're still playing relatively high standard, but most don't.
How old is Aaron Rodgers?
36.
Yeah. Not 38, 39.
Yeah, but he's going to be I'm saying when it matters in 2 years, he's going to be, when they have a decision to make, he's going to be 38.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I mean, now, that's what I'm saying, right? Look, Jordan Love won't play it down this year, and he shouldn't.
No.
It's not a bad pick from that standpoint. It's just that you didn't help your current team in making it.
No. You got 2 choices there, and they made that choice. I just don't think it's going to pay off.
Well, and if you're Rodgers, they've never spent high picks on getting him help.
Never. We went
Right.
through it yesterday. The only offensive first or second rounder since he became starter was a tackle, Balaga.
No, second rounders, yes. Second rounders.
Oh, yeah, first rounder, I mean.
First rounders.
And not many second rounders.
No, but Nelson and Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams, and there was one other receiver.
And Jordy, yeah.
So, anyway, we'll see. Time will tell. But and Philadelphia, I kind of agree. I mean, same type of thing. And this is a guy who's not going to take over for Carson Wentz, I don't believe.
Listen, I don't. You think that if Carson Wentz gets hurt, that Jalen Hurts is going to be good enough to save him like Foles was? I don't. I mean, like you said, they understand the value of a backup quarterback.
Yes.
They do, but again, that's not realized this year.
Right.
I mean, you got really good quarterbacks. You're in windows here, man. I wouldn't be messing around with thinking about the future yet if I were those teams. And to your point, I don't think the Eagles are necessarily thinking about the future. They're just, I think that's too high for Hurts, if you ask me. I mean, I'd rather have Jacob Eason, and I know he comes with some baggage apparently that we learned on draft day. That's saying things about him I didn't know, but but still.
NBA considering Disney World as a venue to resume the season, according to one report. The idea would be that all 30 NBA teams, or 16 if the regular season is canceled, then we jump right into the postseason. Can we just admit, the NBA, that we're going to go right into the postseason?
Right? Why do we keep dangling that?
Why do we do that?
I think why. Here's why I think. Because they might want to play like 3 regular season games just to get their leg, just to get going. Do you want to come off of all of this absence and then be playing with sudden death?
If I'm the Knicks, I'll say we're forfeiting.
Yeah.
Y'all scrimmage.
Yeah, the Warriors kind of said the same thing yesterday.
Yeah.
The lottery.
Yeah, we'll see at the Dan Hicken NBA draft lottery party. Oh, no, we won't.
Have we given any thought to what this does to, like, say, LeBron and his chase to be the all-time leading scorer? You know, you lose these.
Yeah.
What if it comes down to these 25, 30 games?
That'd be a bummer.
Dan, I've seen a lot of whispering. I've seen a lot of rumor. I've seen suggesting that Dan Mullen has the Gators on the verge of joining the big boys. And now, for the first time, I've seen it actually predicted.
Who?
CBS Sports is predicting SEC win totals.
As long as it's not the same guy who did the baseball thing.
Well, no, there's nothing at all. But remember we did this with the ACC a couple days ago. But anyway, predicting the SEC win total. So it goes through every game, who you win to, who do you beat, and who do you lose to. And the good news, at least based on this, and here's how they say we took a deep dive into every game. We've come up with a preliminary record of all 14 SEC teams. Predictions based on production for previous season, coaching acumen, overall, in other words, how good we think they are.
Okay.
As we break down, finishing at the top of the SEC East with an 11-1 record, including a win over Georgia, the University of Florida. 11-1 overall, 7-1 in the league.
I take that.
And they beat Georgia. And they beat
Definitely
LSU.
Take that.
And,
who did we lose to?
Well, I can't tell you because when I brought this up, you laughed at me. So.
What do you mean?
Tennessee. At Tennessee.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've
Remember
ever
that
heard.
beef? He asked me what game would you be worried at? Tennessee would worry me. But anyway, they say the loss to the
Did you
Vols.
submit this to ESPN?
I did not.
You're ESPN. My name's Jeff.
I have nothing to do with this.
I think the Gators are going to go.
Right. Nothing to do with this. The loss to the Vols in Week 4 might jump off the page, but the Gators have plenty of work to do around Kyle Trask. An upset early in the season shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But they'll crank things up.
First off, that line of thinking, and again, it could happen, whatever, but it would be a surprise because Florida will be ahead of most teams early on because they have a veteran team coming back with Kyle Trask, who now has a year under his belt.
Tennessee, at least for their part, they at least have a similar situation. That Guarantano hasn't played as good as but they have a guy. Good grief, this mic's going crazy on me. Georgia would go 10-2. They would lose at Alabama and lose to Florida.
Love it.
Tennessee would go 9-3, so they're expecting big things from Tennessee, losing to Oklahoma, Alabama, and Georgia. Let's go down to the West and see who the Gators are going to be playing for the title.
Who we got?
Well, who do you think?
The Tide?
They got the Tide 12-0, baby.
Dang it.
No losses.
Who's quarterbacking them?
I guess Mac for now, but I don't know.
That's who they say.
They got Auburn 10-2, expecting a big year. LSU back to being LSU 9-3.
9-3 is not bad.
And then it does not predict the SEC championship game. Odds are the
not.
12-0 Tide would be the favorite.
You think?
There used to be a day where we rolled up to Atlanta and the Gators were the favorite and they peppered Alabama and then they went home with another title.
It used to be.
It used to be.
That was a
direct
long
quote,
time
Jeff,
ago.
Was when you said you were worried about Tennessee as a game. Dan said, "quote Tennessee sucks."
Yeah, he did. That's right. He got mad at me. Almost got mad at me. Made fun of me like I've
made fun of you.
I've never seen a college football game before. Yeah.
I stand by that.
It doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just saying there have been two entities that we disagree on what their ceiling is over the last few months: Tennessee and the Boston Red Sox. Those are the two. Yeah.
Where would you say I got to be on upset alert at this particular game?
I would say at Tennessee.
At Tennessee?
Yeah.
You have respect
probably.
for Tennessee?
No,
I see
but
they beat the hell out of them.
But it's early. Maybe they get a couple of wins.
Sucks.
He turned on me fast. It looked like he was going to allow that, and then he. Wow, I didn't realize that was big enough to bookmark and save. Did you?
Yeah, because he wants
Just in case.
Just in case. That's a JIC-er.
That's what he did.
If it comes through.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna pour salt into the wounds on that Monday.
Or you could gloat.
Here's a shocking headline. David Carr hopes Joe Burrow's protected better than he was as a rookie. Carr was sacked 76 times as a rookie quarterback for the expansion Texans, setting stage for a career that never took off. The Bengals struggled up front last year. Jonah Williams, you'll remember, missed the entire rookie season, though he had an injury. The offensive line needs to improve. It's only going to be about what they put around him. It's all it's going to be. Carr was sacked 50 times a year in his first 5 seasons with the Texans. But in fairness, it wasn't all that. Carr wasn't that good either. You know, he was a disappointment when he played. He's an analyst for NFL Network. He's confident Burrow can handle the situation and is the most ready of this year's quarterback class to make an impact. What is it about the Carr brothers, man? David Carr never took off, and Derek Carr, for some reason, just doesn't get – he's always on the – we're going to get rid of him.
Derek Carr is a weird one.
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
Because sitting, you know,
but I watched him against
away,
Oakland, the Jags, and I got the feeling he wasn't the guy. Like, I just didn't see – I mean, did you? Do you remember that game and watching him and think, did that ever cross your mind?
What jumped out at me watching the Oakland Raiders, what jumped out at me and crossed my mind is I don't know what you expect from Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Your receivers are the worst in the league.
And the ref screwed him, obviously, at the end of the game. He ran for the first down, slid,
they stopped the clock.
Threw his fist up because he knows they won.
They won the game.
And they stopped the clock. But
seriously,
nonetheless,
though,
they didn't score that many points, and they weren't. I don't know.
Well, here's why. Weird. I guess my question would be and again, without knowing the Raiders personnel inside and out, but from watching the game last year and from following them, you know, just in general, and you know, I was left with Darren Waller.
Yeah, good player.
And then they had. Let's see, at receiver, they had Darren Waller.
Yeah.
And they had Darren Waller.
Well, they got him help now, man.
But they were the worst receiving core in the whole league, Dan.
Well, they got him Ruggs. They got him the kid from South Carolina.
Brian Edwards.
And they got him Bowden, too. And they also who they're going to use at running back
and they also got Aguilar in free agency.
I mean.
So they improved there. So now.
But on that particular Sunday, and he wasn't bad. He was 22 of 36 for 267 and 1 touchdown, but he was sacked 4 times.
Jan got him a couple.
Yeah, I just remember that game being like, and the following week he was 26 of 30. I mean, he completed 70% of his passes, only 21 touchdowns and 8 picks, 100 rating. But yet he's always there. He's always on the rope, so to speak. It's the weirdest thing.
Well, the reason is I think that what sets the narrative for everyone is that's what it appears like the Raiders feel about him.
Yeah.
So that kind of, right, that sends out the waves to the rest of us all over the place. You just constantly get the feeling that they're not, and yet they ended up not really pulling the trigger and doing anything.
Well, listen.
I mean, they got Mariota. He's not going to beat him out.
You wouldn't think, but, you know, his quarterback rating, well, listen, 22, 19, and 21 are his touchdown passes the last 3 years. You mentioned he doesn't have a lot of targets. His interception rate has gone down every year. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like, what do you want from the kid? He went from 86 to 93 to 100 this year, threw for 4,000 yards in each of the last 2 years. That's a weird one to me. That's a weird one to me. I don't get, you know. I guess they just want, is he a franchise quarterback or not? Are they going to replace him? This will be their second year with him coming up. And I'll promise you this, Jeff Prosser, if he struggles, they will put Mariota in.
And he won't play better than Carr. He may not play worse. He may give him a boost. But if you're going to move on from Carr, it need not be Mariota, who we learned isn't good enough.
But Carr's
stats are good enough to keep him around, but he's not.
Carr doesn't have, like, bad games. Very, very rarely does he have a bad game, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I'm looking at
I've always thought, again, from afar, I've always thought he was better than the implications were about him, but it's not like they're winning anything. But again, those receivers last year, Dan, honest to God, that's the worst receiving core I can even imagine.
Yeah.
The Jags receivers were 10 times better. You can't even remember who they were.
Yeah.
You can't even tell me Hunter Renfrow, and he's a little tiny little late round rookie.
Yeah.
Who were the receivers on the team? I mean, I'm serious.
Cliff Branch.
Exactly.
Warren Wells.
Antonio Brown, Randy Moss. Is
John
that what
Jett.
we're going?
John Jett.
John Jett, right?
It's a nice pull,
Josh
Beef.
Jacobs, the rookie running back, is what saved their season last year. But seriously, I mean, and Waller was a tremendous
Tyrell Williams.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams came from the Cowboys, didn't do anything, or from the Chargers, didn't do anything.
Foster Moreau.
See, I think he's a running back, isn't he, or no?
Tight end. Zay Jones.
Zay Jones, they got in the middle of the year or late, and he's busted a couple places already. Their receiving core is terrible, dude. Seriously.
Jerry Porter had a heck of a year.
But you see what I'm saying.
Great Raider receiver.
He was a great receiver.
And a great Jag.
Why do I get the sense that this new NIL name, image, and likeness
Fred
compensation?
Biletnikoff.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Should have left him out.
Why do I think that the NCAA's new name, image, and likeness compensation is going to create more problems than it is solutions?
The new what now?
The NIL, name, image, and likeness compensation, where players can go get paid. I mean, this is going to create more haves and have-nots than there currently is. You're going to have locker rooms where 5 guys are making $100,000 and no one else is getting anything.
That's correct.
That's what we want college to be. This solves everything?
No.
Yeah.
But they've come to the point where they're telling the NCAA, you're not – who are you? You can't determine – you can't make the laws, the rules.
Well, you can deter – well, you can –
I heard this somewhere.
But you can define what amateurism is.
Okay, well – if you're that went out the window a long time ago.
Well, not in college football. They're all amateurs. I mean, if you get paid, you don't get to play college football.
Yes,
right.
But
well, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking how you think this is great. This is just going to cause coaches a lot of headaches. I guess is what I'm saying. We haven't thought about the headache.
Well, they'll just have to figure that out when they get that, $6 million a year paycheck. Those coaches.
No, well, you want to win. I think most coaches would, I don't think it's all about the money for most coaches. I think most of them are driven by the
love of the game.
Competition. Well, not the competition, trying to win. And part of the competition is getting a salary, but, I mean, I've never known Steve Spurrier to walk around just, waving. I've never heard him reference all of his millions of dollars. He references the 1990 champions. They've been champions in 90. I made $3.2 million that year. Yep, I said everybody then.
You know me. The NCAA makes my skin crawl.
I got you.
I don't.
Yeah.
Anytime they can stick it to them, I like it. But yeah, we said this way back when. Yeah, what this does is it opens the door for Zion Williamson to get rich. Well, he's going to get rich anyway. So, But I don't know. Maybe, for example, how about this? Best moment in college basketball last year was what?
Best moment.
I can tell you because I just read a story about it, so I can tell you. But I was thinking about it, and it was like 100% best moment to me in this no March Madness college basketball season.
I could come up with it.
When I tell you what it is, you'll say, I think you'll agree.
Okay.
It was Stephen F. Austin's win over Duke.
It was one of them.
With the
Bahamian
kid from the Bahamas with the streak. So my point is, what if that kid sees the moment?
At the time,
well, T-shirts up.
Kind of did.
Well, he raised GoFundMe is what was great because they went from $2,000. For those who don't know, he was from the Bahamas. His dad's a preacher there. His church and his home were destroyed, and they had a GoFundMe page out in Stephen F. Austin, which is where?
It's in Nacogdoches,
Texas, baby. Very nice. Nickname, please.
They're the Lumberjacks.
Very good.
And they don't care.
They're the Fighting Steves.
No, they're not. And so it went from 2,000 to like 150,000 overnight.
Yeah,
so that was awesome.
That was awesome.
But my point is this. Let's say that part didn't exist, and that dude who's a kid who's from the Bahamas playing college hoops in Nacogdoches, Texas, does a shirt himself and says, I beat Duke or whatever. It'd be a hot seller for Nacogdoches, Texas.
I guess I understand trying to protect and enhance the rights, but as sports fans, this is going to affect the product.
Why would it affect the product as a sports fan?
Because I've got players who now have as much involvement in third-party endorsements and promoting products and services as they do working out. That's why. 100%. They're not pros. These are 18, 19-year-old kids. They're not going to have the same discipline, mindset. I mean, in many ways, the success that these college football programs have is because these coaches are psycho. and they control them. And that, as a fan, you want
Tyree Cleveland catches the ball against Tennessee.
Right, puts it online, and it keeps it and sells it on eBay that night.
Hell yeah.
Imagine the money Jarvis Morris could have made.
Cack block.
Oh, you can't say that on the radio. Well, here, athletes can be paid by third-party endorsements, promoting a product or service on TV, radio, or ads, social media influencing, modeling, or promoting a product or service, Twitter, TikTok, and other places, their own work product or business activities, including digital content creation. Yeah, so my guy, hey, we're supposed to be in the weight room. Coach, I can't. I'm doing my video content creation at the moment. Not going to be able to make it.
Coach, I'm skipping practice today. I'm out here hawking my T-shirts.
Correct. Personal promotions like autograph signings.
Happen, by the way.
Personal promotions like autograph signings or meet and greets. Coach, I'm not going to be able to practice. I'm going to be hanging outside the gate here signing.
That is awesome,
autographs.
Dude. That is so great.
Coach, I'm not
going
going to be able to make practice. I'm doing an Instagram live for Febreze.
And by the way, good luck enforcing paying players under the table now, right?
Let them pay.
We're back to the old days now.
Let's go back, man.
Drive off in a Mercedes.
Gator Nation, it's time to pony up.
Back,
When
man.
Scott Strickland asks money for facilities, say, no, I'm paying for players.
It's time to get this money.
Yeah. All right, let's kick it around. Let's talk to the doctor. The doctor and see what's up with him when we come back. You want to do that?
I am down. It's Doc Kevin Murphy. It's next here on The Drill. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. Best in the business. When you have the issues on your property, always leave it better than when they showed up. It's Custom Tree Surgeons online at CustomTreeSurgeons.com. Book your appointment today.